The last time we talked about Theft King on the channel, the 30-plus-year-old adult was lying and manipulating his way around the Kane Carter situation until Kane exposed him live, causing his channel to take a massive hit and forcing him into an apology. Since then, he came out as a former addict and got his channel back on track despite his known super manipulative nature. Now, he did get into drama in other scenarios, but today we're just going to focus on this one because, as the title says, he's slandering and lying about another content creator and trying to ruin their career, and I'm not having any of that. Thank you to the Patreon members, but I'm going to keep this short because we have a lot to go through. Now, to give a little backstory, there are 4 people you need to know about before we get into this situation. The first 2 are Stay Hydrated and Underscore, 2 former mods of his who deleted his Discord server in early March, putting them on his shit list. The third would be The Boss, someone who sent this copy pasta to Theft King's public email account, which Theft King posted himself on Twitter and had no idea it was them until recently as far as I can tell. The fourth would be Sleep Live, a small content creator who's made videos on Theft King in the past, putting him on his shit list as well. These details are important to know, and you'll soon find out why. Sleep Live will make a Discord chat where he would invite former mods of Theft King's Discord server and people who generally had ties to him while producing another video. 3 of the people in the server would be Stay Hydrated, Underscore, and The Boss. While the whole chat was either asleep or AFK, these 3 were still awake, and while chatting, Underscore would talk about his plan to fuck with Theft King more. The first screenshot shows Underscore going over exactly that, with Stay Hydrated and The Boss reacting as such, being that he re-uploaded Theft King's video, and when Theft King rightfully struck it down, he got his personal email address. The second screenshot would be them chatting some more, with The Boss remembering about the time he sent that troll copy pasta to Theft King's public email address back in February. Underscore was sent Theft King's personal email before deleting it, The Boss would send that troll copy pasta to it, the third screenshot would show exactly that going down as they chatted, and the fourth screenshot would show Stay Hydrated telling them to stop because this is fucked up, with Underscore agreeing to back off. Now, the messages I just showed you were the only screenshots that Theft King was sent, as another member was awake and understandably seeing this going down, did the morally correct thing and told Theft King himself about what was going on. I want to point out again, these are the only screenshots that Theft King was sent, with the final one pointing out that 2 of the 3 people dropped the idea because they realized it was fucked up, which Theft King himself definitely saw. On March 27, 2023, Theft King would drop a video about the group chat, claiming that it was made to dox him and spread his info around. What's interesting is that throughout the whole video, not once does he show this second half of the screenshot where he knew 2 of the 3 people dropped the idea altogether, nor did he go out of his way to try and contact them to get the full picture. Mind you, Stay Hydrated and Underscore were former mods of his, meaning he could easily contact them and get the full idea, but instead he says the entire group chat and its members' sole purpose was to dox him when that isn't the case and he's lying to his fans. He even tweeted out a clip of his video where he claims the messages were deleted and that he assumed the purpose of the chat was made to dox him.
Shortly after they sent me the screenshots, the messages were all deleted from the Discord. Clearly, they're trying to cover their tracks. Thus, I don't know exactly what was said, who participated, who saw the email. I can't know for sure. All I have is the list of the group members, so I just have to assume that all of them were equally involved. If you participate in a chat like this, that's the risk you run.
This is a very serious claim to make, and the fact he doesn't even do proper research and just assumes everyone there is to dox him and he lumps them all together like some sort of guilt by association tactic is insane. So, I decided to do the research myself, and it turns out the only message that was deleted was the one where Underscore posted his email. Here's 4 screenshots recreating what Theft King was sent from my point of view, and here's 4 camera pictures I took just in case. Again, the only message that was deleted was the one where Underscore sent Theft King's personal email, unlike how Theft King paints it as if the whole chat was deleting everything once they were caught. Theft King lying to his fans ain't exactly the most shocking thing either. After all, this is a guy that kept lying about Kane Carter over and over again, until Kane exposed him in front of his livestream audience and would have kept going on were it not for Kane doing that. It's pretty obvious what Theft King's goal was here. He saw 3 people that have wronged him in the past, and so decided to lump them together and try to paint them as a malicious doxing group. I understand why he's mad at them too. Stay Hydrated deleted his Discord server, Underscore did the same and also ran an op to get his personal email address, and The Boss used that email to send a troll message to him. However, out of this entire group, the only 2 people who were bad actors were Underscore and The Boss, as Stay Hydrated was the one to tell them to stop to begin with, and everyone else had nothing to do with the situation at hand. It's also worth pointing out that right after The Boss dipped after realizing how fucked the situation was, something that Theft King didn't bother to figure out because he just wanted to bury them all. Underscore and The Boss did a fucked up thing and they deserve every ounce of criticism without a doubt, but for Theft King to paint the entire chat as a doxing group is downright malicious. Now the part with Sleep Live is where things get interesting. As you've seen by now, Sleep Live wasn't in the chat at all during this. That's because he was living up to his name, sleeping as this was going down as he said so himself on Twitter, meaning that he had no idea that Underscore and The Boss were doing all this to begin with. Theft King, after already hating Sleep Live, puts him as the main person on his thumbnail and had a whole segment where he talks down to him, referring to him as a Theft King content creator whose top 5 videos have 4 of them talking about him in those slots.
Sleep Live is a Theft King content creator who makes videos about Theft King. Sleep Live is not a creator who I know. I've never seen any of their videos and I've only spoken to them once very, very briefly. However, they have continually made videos about me, presumably because they're the only videos they've ever made that have ever gotten any attention.
It's obvious he saw this as yet another opportunity to try and bury another detractor of his, except Sleep Live literally had nothing to do with this at all, and Theft King is now slandering him along with the others that weren't involved in the situation. Sleep Live would make a video in which he defends himself as he wasn't in the chat during this moment, but instead of Theft King apologizing for dragging his name in the mud, he starts cracking jokes on Twitter about his top 5 video list, and decides to try and further the narrative that the Discord chat was made to harass him, when as we know, that's not the case and he's continuing to lie to people. Another unhinged tweet attacking Sleep Live for no reason would be posted, before he decides to shift gears and try a new approach. Theft King would now start claiming that ever since his email was posted to their group chat, he's been getting harassed in his private email account by Nazis, and he believes someone from that group chat sent it around. He continues to make posts about how it's getting worse and how he believes Underscore and Sleep Live are behind this new harassment campaign against his personal email. Theft King again tries his hardest to paint this narrative that Underscore and Sleep Live sent out his email address to bad actors, and then tries to victimize himself further and further to get people to sympathize for him. Now the big kicker here is that he hasn't posted a single piece of evidence to these claims at all, and again, given how much he slandered and lied about Kane Carter to the furthest degree, he can't be trusted by his word as he lost that luxury months ago, especially with something this serious as career-ending allegations like these. He would even scoff at the idea of providing proof to the career-ending allegations he's been making, states that it can be easily doctored, and that even if he did, he has more important things to worry about. He's gone on to post a screenshot now claiming it was from his private email, but that ain't gonna cut it. We need to see a screen recording of the emails because this guy is a known lying fuck, and he's gonna be subjected to the highest scrutiny possible because of that. Theft King would continue this narrative on his YouTube channel, pinning a message on his video about how he's getting all these emails because Underscore's group is trying to harass him on a personal level now. He would make a community tab post as well, saying how this hate group posted his email around that people are harassing him now. At one point, he also tries to dumb down the Caden Carter situation as just him telling him to burn in hell, when it was actually because he's a lying manipulative fuck, but I digress. He then states that he believes Underscore, Sleep Live, and a group are trying to scare him off YouTube. I'm sure y'all see this by now, but he's just blatantly lying about everybody at this point. May I remind you, the group chat was made to interview former associates of his. Sleep Live wasn't even awake when Underscore got the email, and now he's trying his damnedest to pay himself as a victim while also slandering everyone's name in the process. This isn't no small little mistake, this is blatant libel and slander. To see him do this in real time again is what caught my attention in the first place. He lost the ability for people to take him by his word after slandering King Carter to the nth degree until he was caught. And since Sleep Live is such a small creator, nobody knew or cared to speak about this situation because that's usually how things work. So, I stepped in, gathered up all this info, did some proper research, and got to this point of the video. Oh, but it's not over yet, as the next morning, Theft King decided to take things to the next level. In the early morning of March 29th, Theft King will update his Sleep Live video counter, now sitting at 3 out of 5 instead of 4 out of 5, meaning he did exactly what you think he just did. Sleep Live would tweet that Theft King struck down his archive video of the King Carter meltdown livestream, meaning that Sleep Live, a 20-year-old who wasn't involved in the situation at all, while Theft King, a 30-plus-year-old adult who's continued to slander him over and over again, now has put Sleep's career in jeopardy because of a purely malicious vendetta against him. Whether this was legally justified or not does not matter, because Theft King had 8 months to ask Sleep Live to take the video down or strike it then, but only chose to do so during his slander campaign against him to try and silence and deplatform him. A 300k sub YouTuber decided to wait until he could paint his detractor in a false light, posting slanderous and libelous statements about them, even stating he hasn't bothered to see Sleep Live's video because he doesn't care and will continue to lie on his name. Theft King would continue to post crop messages to further his victim complex, with Sleep Live again setting the record straight and posting the full messages in order to thwart his attempt at slandering him some more. In fact, it seems Sleep Live is getting ready to sue him for libel and slander, and given what we've seen so far, I don't blame him one bit. Where things are getting interesting is that King Carter himself would actually join Theft King's Discord server and start talking with the man, saying that he dislikes Sleep Live even more, which opens up a whole new situation in of itself. Kane is speaking up with his enemy because he either hates Sleep Live that much, Sleep Live has some major dirt on him and he needs him gone, or Kane just has no spine. I'm willing to bet it's the middle one, because Sleep would make a post on Twitter saying he knows stuff about him, but that's a whole other situation at hand, so while interesting, it's not our focus right now. To give a quick recap, Underscore got a hold of Theft King's personal email and the boss sent a copy pasta to it before Stay Hydrated told them to stop, in which Underscore and the boss did within a 20-minute time span. Theft King was leaked messages showing all but the boss stopping, but instead of trying to figure out who exactly the bad actors were, he instead labeled every single person in the chat as a doxer, said the chat was made to dox him, proudly showed so in his video, all while everyone save for Underscore and the boss did anything bad. Sleep Live was sleeping during this, and after setting the record straight, Theft King has continued over and over to slander his name and has now struck down a video on his channel. There are very few people I've covered on this channel that I have the displeasure of learning about on YouTube. Theft King is one of those people, because despite being a massive 300k sub YouTuber who somehow got his career back on track after slandering another content creator at one point, is now back to his old ways and further proves that he will never change. Theft King is a dishonest, manipulative liar with a massive, uncontrollable ego and someone who more people need to learn about. He won't stop slandering Sleep Live and he will continue to do so, and I feel it's my responsibility to set the record straight given I'm a decently sized content creator who's actually caught wind of this. More eyes need to be on this situation, as ignoring Theft King isn't gonna cut it, because if you keep ignoring him, he's just gonna keep lying and get away with it because he has his audience completely fooled. This isn't an early 20-something-year-old who can't control their emotions. This is a 30-plus-year-old man who's had a history of slandering people to the furthest degree and knows exactly how to spin a narrative. Other people have had to clear their names too, like YouTuber Rujay.Instrumental, who was also in the group chat. But since Theft King doesn't have a personal vendetta against him, he hasn't tried to slander his name any further. At that, Rujay.Instrumental is 16 years old, meaning we got a grown-ass man beefing and lying about a teenager in high school because he's a manipulative piece of shit. It's funny because all he had to do was tell the truth and admit fault when lumping everyone together, but he instead decided to slander people more and more to the point he might end up in legal trouble. Theft King is one of the most malicious people I've seen on YouTube, and I know he don't want no big name involved because he don't want that smoke. He looks for any possible avenue to paint himself as a victim, and to a certain extent he kinda was at the beginning of the situation, except he manipulated the screenshots, lied about the chat, and started to lie about everyone he can because he thinks he can get away with it. And you know what? He has gotten away with everything so far because his channel isn't being negatively impacted both subscriber and financial wise, and because nobody big is speaking about this, it's my job to get back in the ring and put an end to this guy's lying and set the record straight. I highly recommend following my Twitter, cause y'all know I don't make daily uploads all the time, and I'm not gonna stop keeping my eye on this situation in case shit gets crazier from here on out. I've swung at the king and hit him right where it hurts before, so let's go 2 for 2 and see what the future holds for this guy.